2 second place finishes at a major, lose Twist, bring back Twist, and you lose your longest standing member of all time in Rain. Let's talk about it.
Navi steal away those playoffs.
Another body drops, and there you have it. FaZe clan discombobulated.
Go into overtime, find out right now. Whoa, we are done. Allowing FaZe to play no more. And Gamer Legion knock FaZe out of IEM Melbourne 2025.
Hey, what's up, guys? Gonna take you away from the video here real fast to talk to you about today's sponsor, CS Money. As many of you know, I've worked with them for a long time, and if you guys are unaware of what their site's about, they basically do fast trades and they have a marketplace. You can trade anything you want in the trade mode. They have super low prices that are lower than Steam. They got like 1 million skins, and if you want to buy or purchase something instead, you can always use PayPal or crypto as well for the marketplace. If you're looking to get rid of your skins or you're looking to move on some skins, they also have an instant sell feature as well, which is absolutely sick. So they've changed the prices recently to give better pricing on the instant sell as well. And if you're super into it, you can also look and buy for something brand new almost instantly on the spot. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, make sure you guys check out my link below that supports me. And without further ado, let's send you back into the video and I'll stop yapping. 2 second place finishes at the major with very little in between. And then they ended up losing ROPS. And as soon as they lost ROPS, it just kind of felt like that was actually the moment they really went into free fall. ROPS kind of felt like he was holding it together with his own individual performances. Not saying he was the only one, but it kind of felt like still the glue was still there. The team was still the team. You know, they'd obviously already lost Twist because of the contract situation where FaZe was being bought out by Complexity's ownership group, which is called Game Square. Twist gets lost in the sauce and they end up losing Twist in the middle of all this. And that was kind of the start of it. When ROPS left to go to Vitality, or just literally said, I don't want to resign. That was kind of the beginning of the end of like the FaZe that was the FaZe that we had all come to know and love. And that was entertaining. But now that they brought back Twist, it kind of feels like we're maybe getting that FaZe back. Talking about that for him, you know, when they lost ROPS, they didn't just lose like statistically a really strong player. It was kind of like the glue was still kind of there. And then with Frozen and him working together, though, it never felt like they hit the same highs they first achieved when it kind of all came together and when they originally lost Twist. But it still seemed like each time the major came around, you know, getting second, I'm sure they don't want to remember getting second twice, but it seemed like there was enough still there that they could do something into the future. But the inevitable end that we all know is ROPS didn't have faith in the team anymore. That doesn't mean that ROPS hates all of his teammates and hates all of FaZe, but what it does show is that that team was having problems, and that was, to me, the oh shit, like things in FaZe are changing. It's not just, oh, we're losing a player. You're losing ROPS, and indirectly ROPS is really saying for the first time ever in FaZe's history, the firepower is kind of weak. So what does FaZe do? They bring in my favorite, the bald eagle. I won't lie to you. Once it came true, I was so happy just because I felt like EliGE had been shooting so hard on Complexity at the time and feeling stuck where he was. But you know what? I'm so fucking happy, bro. I really am so happy for him. Like, I hope FaZe does so well with him on the team. I didn't really feel like, and I still don't feel like EliGE was necessarily a firepower upgrade in any way, but I thought it was a really cool idea that they were bringing in an aggressive rifler who can take space, and hopefully that could open things up for Frozen a little bit more. And honestly, I had a lot of high expectations that they might be able to kind of evolve with EliGE there. But as time went on, unfortunately, we kind of all know how this one ended. That is not really what came to be. It seemed like early on, you know, Kerrigan and EliGE were really hitting it off and seemed like things were going in a way that maybe there was going to be some growing pains, but it would actually all end up paying off at the end of the day. But unfortunately, we never really got there. As time went on and the results didn't come, instead of building something new, it felt like whatever little new thing they had just slowly started to dissipate into madness. There's a whole bunch of reasons why this could have happened, and they all keep repeating the same thing.
John has his idea of playing, but it's also very hard for a team that like FaZe to play in that way. And I also feel like Finn kind of lost his identity vision. I think he got forced into a situation, not forced, but wanted to adapt into a situation where he didn't feel comfortable.
That's all we can really go off of, which is EliGE wanted to bring structure to the team. FaZe is a clusterfuck, for lack of a better term. They love the chaos, as they love to say. And honestly, I can't fault them for it. They've had tons of success doing it. You can't really sit here and be like, oh, well, they shouldn't do that. This isn't an optimal way to play. No, I mean, at the end of the day, FaZe can kind of give the middle finger to a lot of people and say, it's worked for us, and that's what we want to keep doing. We don't really want to change what we're doing. Basically, that put the team at a crossroads with EliGE, because EliGE, just at the end of the day, I love EliGE to death. I want him to do well, but he's much more of a structured type person. He really likes to kind of go through his flow chart in his head. He has a protocol in his head for everything. So he wants his team to also kind of have similar thought process and reactions to things, where I feel like Kerrigan likes much more free flowing, going based on what he's seeing in the server at that time. And that is a good thing and a bad thing. Like, it's not, unfortunately, in Counter-Strike, there can be multiple correct answers, but if you're not doing the same one together, they're both wrong. And that's kind of, I think, what we were seeing with FaZe, is they built this new thing. They're like, this is cool. We're totally going to change with EliGE being here. We're going to try this out. And then when the results didn't follow, they're like, okay, maybe we don't do this and we go back to what we're comfortable with. And EliGE is like, well, wait, hold on. That's not really how I play really well either. So that's going to kind of affect me more. And it just didn't really end up working out. I really wanted that to work. I really wanted EliGE to basically be able to just compete for tier 1 S tier trophies, and that just wasn't even close. And then they brought in jcobb, which that was a weird one for FaZe. Not to say jcobb's bad, but for a team that has as much experience as they do, it just seemed like they've lost so much veteran presence, like back to back to back with some of their roster moves, that bringing in jcobb, just to me, it's not that I didn't think he could play well. It just seemed almost like not fit with the timeline for what FaZe was trying to do. It's like, we keep hearing FaZe wants to win trophies. You know, they want to be in playoffs. They want to play in front of a crowd. Also, we just picked up somebody that has almost no experience with any of that. That's where kind of the Twist signing made a little bit more sense for FaZe, is they maybe knew that down the line that might be available to them. FaZe was like, jcobb is really the replacement for EliGE, but really they knew he'd be the replacement for Rain all along. Like, it's kind of an interesting thing to think about when you try to figure out how FaZe's management, the order of operations of things, because to me, the jcobb move is still actually the most odd move that FaZe has made. And it's not because I think he's bad. It just doesn't seem like he falls in line with the timeline of everything else they're trying to do. Don't forget, they also had like Simple stand in, and then they sat Brokey for a little while, and then they brought back Brokey. And then, like, maybe the Simple stand-in situation changed how they view the game and what they wanted to succeed. There are so many things where I don't know what the goal is for FaZe. It kind of feels like Liquid's management, where some moves feel like it's win now mentality, it's playoffs now or bust mentality, and then other moves are like, we're building for the future. And that's just really confusing. It seems like Kerrigan has said publicly a few times that he has less control than what people think, myself included. I thought he had a lot more control. And now maybe it's more of like a management thing. But if it's the management, you know, that's really concerning. And like, I think that's really what's created so many of these issues. They don't seem to have a clear plan and identity of what they expect from this team. That also affects everything. I feel like that affects Kerrigan. Doesn't know what he's expected to do with this roster, even himself, because when you're switching out players the way that they are, and they're kind of doing this musical chairs thing, and then they're bringing back in star players, sitting a player for like a month, and then you're bringing back Twist, but then you're dropping your longest tenured player to then basically use a rookie. I'm so curious what other people think. FaZe is supposed to be a playoff contender now, or is this kind of more of like a project team where we're supposed to be seeing results after this major? Because when I think of like what Kerrigan wants to do, this is late in his career, man. And you just benched your 10-year veteran player who's, I know he's not playing this way, but he is literally a major MVP. Like, you're coming up to a major here soon. You're going to be in stage, I think, 1. What is your goal? You have Twist and Kerrigan and Frozen and Brokey and then jcobb. I feel like I'm almost making a hit piece on him. It's not about jcobb. It's more about what is everybody else doing around him, because I feel like they're setting him up for failure. And the worrying sign is he has not looked great going into this major. I think jcobb has been playing worse since Pro League than Kerrigan. It's a small sample size, but that's still not good. I'm not saying jcobb is worse than Rain. It just seems like an odd move. And that kind of just leads me into my next point of, I just don't know what to expect of this team. And I'm just wondering, what are they going to do? I don't think FaZe can see themselves as real contenders unless Twist keeps up this ungodly rifle form. Like, he is doing insane work in that jersey right now. If he can maintain that, I think they can actually maybe sniff playoffs. Maybe. That's Twist playing as good as he is right now, which, to give you like perspective, that would make him like top 5 rifler in the world at the moment, just from switching teams. jcobb would then have to raise his level a little bit, and Kerrigan has raised his level since Twist came back, so he would have to keep his level. There's so many things that haven't happened. Counter-Strike is more fun when these names that are on this FaZe roster are playing well. So I want to drink the Kool-Aid right now, but I also just feel like I don't know if FaZe's management has really set them up to do well at the major. This feels like it all kind of came together last second, and it feels like conflicting things. I mean, I know ESL got it wrong too, but guys, like, you guys didn't even have the right roster for Pro League. That's like the most important thing of managing a roster, is making sure your roster can play a tournament. Like, that's, and it feels disrespectful to Jacob too, because what I worry is, like, if they don't do well at the major, is he just gone? Like, everybody on this team isn't sitting here trying to like wait to be competitive. They want to be competitive right now. And that to me is just what has made me so curious, so confused, and also so willing to hopefully drink some Kool-Aid that FaZe can play well at the major, because it'll be far more entertaining if they are. So as always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to leave a like on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what you think is going on with the FaZe roster. Do you think their expectations are to win this major? I want them to be good again, and I'm curious what other people think and when they think they're going to be good again. Last but not least, guys, fl0m.com, fl0mstore.com. What the hell is that? I am hosting my own LAN if you have somehow not heard about it yet. $30,000. It'll be at the HyperX Arena in Las Vegas, because I don't want to leave and go very far. Sign up on the website, put your email in there for ticket information. If you want to support me at North American Counter-Strike, best way to do it. Check out the merch if you like it, and if you have the means, purchasing the merch helps me out a lot. See y'all in the next video.